I've always been really self-conscious about my hair, which is funny because I've always had really terrible haircuts. In 6th grade, I had this like bird's nest. It was extremely poofy and very overgrown. And it doesn't help that every single photo I have from this time is horrendous. I mean, what is this, dog? Then there's 7th grade, in which I grew out the bird's nest even more. At this point, it wasn't even a bird's nest. It was the whole apartment complex. I had single mothered pigeons that I was raising the rent on. Where did my wall go? It got a little bit more tame in 8th grade. A couple evictions had to be made. But then I went to sport clips, which is always a bad idea. Their main selling point is that you can watch sports while you're getting your hair cut. And when the main gig of a haircut place has nothing to do with hair, you know it's bad. So I sit down in the chair and I tell the barber like, hey, I want like this much off the front. And they said, oh, sweet. So like an inch. And then they just started cutting. And I was way too shy to say like, hey, wait, stop. I need to like tell you actually what I want. So I just sat there like a good little boy and got my hair cut. And because I didn't actually tell them what I wanted, they ended up cutting the back way too short. And then the barber asks, so, you like your haircut? Yeah, it's great, I said, like a liar. The second I walked out of that sports clips, I started complaining to my mom. I don't even know why I was so upset, because the haircut was like decent, dude. But I like shed a tear in the shower when I got home, which is funny because it was like the first good haircut I've had in like a long time. I was so upset about this haircut that I made a whole video on it. And then I let my hair grow. I only got like one haircut in like 9 months. And then by December, my hair was incredibly long. The longest it has ever been. But that wasn't even the big problem. The problem was that I did nothing to take care of my hair. So it just looked nasty. Like, look at this. Ew. That isn't even a bird's nest anymore. That's a bird's crack house. Also, because it was so long, my friend would always like put stuff in my hair. And it's really funny seeing all these old photos of it. Then I got my hair to be like somewhat decent. I messed this floor up. Ah! We're gonna ignore that scream. That was the worst noise that's ever come out of my mouth. And then over the summer, I cut my hair short on purpose this time. And now to be honest, I liked seeing my hair that short. It was a good haircut. I got that haircut from my most trusted barber across my many years of having hair. I've been going with her for a couple years. She's this old lady in Mexico who like renovated her house to turn it into a barber shop, which is sick. And she's good at what she does, which is, you know, cut hair. And then I let my hair grow out again. That was terrible, which makes us arrive at right now where I have like really nice hair. Shout out Santold, because he gave me this sweet mullet, which I would say is my second best haircut. I'm also like using actual like products in my hair, just this like cream that my grandma gave me that's supposed to like define your curls. As I said, this is the second best haircut I've had. The best haircut I've ever had is when I was like 6. Like, dang, dude. Look at those curls. Editing Foisty here. I'm looking at these photos and I'm realizing that there is a significant lack of curl and also that the haircut was not as good as I remembered it. I'm also realizing that I was an absolute cutie patootie. I mean, look at this photo. Why do it look like that? It's all sunshine and rainbows for this little guy. And around that same time is when I cracked my head open. And if you want to hear that story, then click on this video right here.